Did Simagic develop the best budget pedals on the market? I'm Jake with Inside Sim Racing, and let's find out. With the new release of the P700 pedals, that means Simagic now has 5 different pedals that they sell, not including the inverted P1000 kit. Starting at the top with the P2000s, then the 2 different types of the P1000, the standard and the hydraulic, then came the P500s. Now sandwiched between the P500 and the P1000 now sit these new P700s. We're not sure at this price point if the P500s will honestly even remain as a viable option. From entry level to pro performance, we're going to take a look and see how the P700s stack up. We'll be test driving them later, but for right now, let's just get into the video and start talking about these pedals. The 3-pedal set will come in at $209, and by the way, at the time that you're watching this video, we'll actually have them for sale at the site for you to purchase. So, the other thing to look at is, at $209, that's a really big savings margin over the 2-pedal set and adding a clutch later, as just the actual 2-pedal set itself will be $189. And then adding the clutch later would be $59. So saving a pretty good little chunk of money there just by, rounding it all out and getting the 3-pedal set right off the get-go. It's a good incentive. Let's go over what comes in the actual box itself. So you're going to get a base plate that includes a silicone insert for comfort. And you're going to get, obviously, of course, your 2 pedals or the 3 pedals if you opted for a clutch. You have the additional springs for all 3 pedals and the elastomers. You have a brake kit that allows up for 35 different combos, so you can get them dialed in for your preferred style of braking. You have your tools for your installation, and you have a USB cable and a data cable to connect them directly to the Simagic wheelbases. Now let's get a little bit into the specs. Starting with a 12-bit angle sensor with high accuracy Hall effect sensor. The brake comes with a 150-gram load cell. The brake can also work with the load cell or just angle sensor. The pedal faces are adjustable, and they do have adjustable pedal spacing. Some additional add-ons also include the ability to add either type of Simagic haptics with or without additional brackets, a floor mount for those of you that don't have a rig, and we will show a quick video of that right now. So as you can see the wall mount here that we just talked about. Now, this is going to be the little pack that they give you within the actual box itself, and this is what we're going to be using to change our elastomers. You can see this gold spring, and then you have, some other elastomers. I got some more elastomers over here with the setup that I'm going to be running. So they make it super easy, especially for the brake. When you have these equipped with the haptics, it can get kind of in the way when you're doing this, but all you're going to do is lift up like that. I'm going to pull up this stack, and you'll see down here I have opted for 75, a spacer, 75, a spacer, a 75, a spacer, and then I'm going to be running the black spring with the smaller 55 durometer spacer. That'll go just in there. And then all you're going to do is stick that bad boy in there. You're gonna push down pretty considerably, and then just run that in, and just like that, you can completely change the elastomers. You can adjust these as well. You can use the red springs for like the clutch or the throttle if you want it to feel just a little bit different. They got a black spring and the silver spring, and they even have the elastomers. So I don't know why you'd want to use that for your clutch or throttle, but that is an option. So on the actual front here, well, you can see on the back where this is mounted. But to run this wall brace, it does look like, you have the rails all the way down. So if you did want to run these pedals a little more inside, all you do is right here on the front pedal plate is you have these screws, and you can basically just move these and adjust these wherever you'd like. So it's really neat. So before we head off into the car and actually do some testing, let's look at the actual software in here and see what there is to adjust. So right out the gate, you can see we have our clutch, brake, and throttle. You have the ability up here to change it from angle to a load cell, and these are a load cell. Let's change it to load cell. And up here you can actually see you can adjust and change the actual ramping of the actual pedals. So it's basically going to affect how it reacts in correlation to your foot. I personally just like to set up everything on linear, just for a direct feeling on the brakes, and adjust basically like my curve naturally, mechanically through like the elastomers, for example, by the different sizes and strength on the durometer on the stack. So right here you can see you can change the actual dead zone where the actual input is going to start and stop. So like if you don't want the pedal to engage until you get about 15% in, then it won't do so until then. But you can go up here and actually calibrate. You hit start calibration, and it'll pop up with this window, and you can run through all your pedals, and it will calibrate them for you. Once you get finished up with that, we can go over to feedback. Now this is an area that you can mess around with if you actually have the haptics. So you can see right at the gate, it's setting up, has HPR Neo, HPR, and HPR GT. We are set up with the HPR GTs. So we'll select all those. That has a little warning statement letting you know that, if you try to run these without the correct haptic, you could damage them. So then you can see down here the actual effects. So like ABS active on the brake, you can go down here, change the actual frequency rating and the strength. And that pretty much wraps it up. So with the software all squared away, why don't we actually get in the car and do some testing? I also just wanted to quickly interject here really quick while we're talking about the software and say that Simagic does give you the ability to actually use the haptics with SimHub in here. Now for the video, I couldn't get them to work, but I do know that it does work. But if you don't feel like messing around with SimHub, they are 100% work in SimPro Manager just fine. And if you don't want to use SimHub, you don't have to, but it is an option. So now that we've gone over everything on that front, let's get into some actual testing and see if the elastomer stack that we chose here is what we like. So we're getting out on track here in the F3 at Zolder. This is a great combo, great car. We're also running the new Simagic Ultra, which you may have saw in our last episode. So I'm quite impressed so far with these pedals. I've spun a couple laps just to make sure that this setting is what I like, and I have to say just the amount of adjustability that they give you with the elastomers and also the spring is really nice. I will say the red spring right out the gate that it comes with is way too soft, and I don't think that the cold spring quite gets you there either. We're currently running the 375s and the one smaller 55 with the black spring, and I think this is absolutely perfect. It gives you that nice initial smush for trail braking and like initial pedal feel, and then also the like nice hard mush as you get into the brakes for like threshold braking and stuff like that. And these pedals feel amazing for the price. We've talked about the price, and with modern technology and just how accessible, all of the equipment is nowadays. I understand it's still hard for some people, even for me. I mean, it's hard in supporting hobbies, but it's really amazing to see how good these pedals are getting for the price, considering not everybody can afford $800 Husingfelds, you know what I mean? And these are a load cell. They got the brackets set up for the haptics, and the biggest problem I've had with budget pedals is getting like the clutch and the throttle to feel right, because most of them are kind of like a coil spring design, and these feel awesome. The clutch and the throttle kind of have like a nice little bit of resistance to them, so they feel quite natural, and I think that's really, really valuable to find in such a budget pedal. I think these pedals serve anybody right within the actual Simagic ecosystem, or if you're just looking for an outright pedal. The adjustments that we've made to the brake feel really good, especially around the circuit. I 100% could probably do the same lap times I could do with my Husingfeld Sprints at home. I almost guarantee it. These pedals are super comfortable. And again, like, everything we talked about with like the pedal face adjustments and just, like the pedal spacing, all the things that you can do in terms of the mounting is really neat. So yeah, I think I really don't have anything bad to say about these pedals. All right, just finished up a few hot laps at F3, and again, have nothing but good things to say about these pedals. The haptics feel amazing. Pedals are super comfortable. I was really able to bring these pedals to me, and I can't recommend them enough. So, all right, that is going to wrap it up on the P700 pedals. We hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions or comments for us, be sure to leave them down below for us. And with that, I have been Jake with Inside Sim Racing, and I will see you in the next video.